Bandidos, today I bring you 3 different explosive skill builds you can use all week to farm red stars from the Hollywood event.
I want to learn how to blow shit up with my mind.
Or don't run the event and just go blow some shit up. Hit like if unique and important builds are for you, and comment the boom to support the channel.
I told you.
It was all a dream. Now I'm in the limelight cause I rhyme tight. Time to get paid, blow up like the and if you don't know, now you know. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call the flip, same number, same hood. It's all good. It was all a dream.
Watch this.
It was all a dream. And if you don't know, now you know.
So it's all about the booms this week, and that's because the Hollywood Global event has started. If you don't know how to find it, head on over to your seasons, and on your seasons track, you can see the Hollywood Global event is now active. This event will last 1 week, and by playing this event, you can earn what we call red stars, as well as make progress through this mini rewards track, which ultimately will get you an exotic. What's really neat about these events and why we play them is for those red stars. So those red stars act as a form of currency. You want to earn as many of those as you can, because during the event, this season vendor is open and you have 7 days to spend all those red stars or you will lose them. And so I usually recommend named item caches, legacy season caches, or exotic caches. And exotic caches I feel like are kind of spendy, but if you're at that level in the game and you have nothing else to buy, then there you go. But if you're looking for something very specific, like say the Memento backpack, this is a very expensive and difficult way to go about it. You're really gambling, and it's a very expensive gamble. I like named item caches. That gives me the best results. But if you're looking for something very specific like Systems Corruption, which is a Dark Zone exclusive gear set, then legacy season caches is probably the best way to get it. And by turning it on, you get the first item unlocked, which is going to be a named item cache. It says rogues have outfitted all hostile factions with energy shields, which deflect a majority of typical damage. So damaging shielded hostiles with explosives, EMP damage, or any kind of specialization weapon will cause their shields to burn out and explode. Any enemies eliminated in this way will drop special ordnance, explosives, and special ammo. So that's what we're going to be playing in today. And one of the easy ways to do it is by running the demolition specialization, because it's explosives and you'll be getting lots of explosive ammo. Today we're going to be running this very special Ninja Bike boom boom build. That's what it is. The idea is to minimize your cooldowns on these 2 skills and kind of run around with the 1-2 punch, and then utilizing your status effects to eliminate your cooldowns. So one of the ways we do that is by running this very special talent called Tag Team. So the last enemy you have damaged with the skill is marked. Dealing weapon damage to that enemy causes the mark to reduce active cooldowns by 6 seconds. The cool thing is that status effects is included in the definition of skill damage. So as you can see, I'm running this explosive Seeker Mine. It's got a huge radius at tier 6. Huge, and that's why I like it. They can never dodge out of it. And it causes them to bleed, and the bleed re-triggers, I would say. It'll trigger and re-trigger Tag Team until the bleed stops. And so that's multiple cooldowns off of a single hit. And that cooldown will apply to both of your skills. Ideally, I like to get my cooldowns between 12 and 14 seconds, so we're just about there. And so the Sticky Bomb is at about 14.5 seconds. And this one's really cool because you got some serious range. Technically, with both of these skills. I'll show you how to laser focus snipe with your Sticky Bomb in a little bit. So let's start with the backpack real quick, because it's this is sort of the centerpiece. So we got weapon damage, an armor core, and a skill tier. That's what the Ninja Bike brings. We got skill haste as the mod, and resourceful. Slots in with any equipped gear set and or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set bonus. Cool. All right, so we're doubling up. So we only had to put 1 of each of these things, and we're getting the full benefit of all of this. China Light is a must, okay? Because that's going to give you that explosive damage, which is a rare damage type. It's really, there's only a few ways to get it. And then by running the Ninja Bike, it's going to unlock skill haste. We got skill tier, skill damage, and status effects to help that bleed last longer, which is also a damage, bleed damages. And then I got my 1 piece of Grupo, and it unlocks a second slot, giving this 15% more explosive damage. Very key to making a strong explosive build. I got armor on this one, skill damage, and skill haste. You can also go weapon damage there, but we're not really using our weapons to kill too much, just to tag. Now we got the 1 piece of of Brazos, which is given a skill haste. We need that and a skill tier. So technically 2 pieces. We got a skill tier, skill damage, and more status effects. You can also go skill haste there. I got my Hannah U on the chest, of course. Skill haste and skill damage. Skill tier, status effects, skill haste, double. And then the tag team talent we discussed. And then last but not least, we got the Wyvern mask with skill damage and status effects, skill tier, skill damage, and haste. You could also run status effects there. We wanted to get those cooldowns nice and fast. Now here's something tricky. Notice the weapons I'm running. These are very important. You want to use the shotgun, the mop, specifically as your main weapon because it's got 12% damage to armor. Damage to armor applies to bleed. That gives you a stronger bleed. The other reason is because you have the attribute 10% armor on kill. And with these bleed / explosive or status effect type skills, they activate the armor on kill from your weapons even if you don't shoot them. So that's a little trick that I'm going to demonstrate for you here in just a moment. So just by holding the shotgun, not even shooting the shotgun, notice I damaged myself, right? So when you get a kill from either the bleed or the explosion, you're going to get that 10% armor on kill. And then I'm running in sync to make those skills even stronger. So the sticky bomb within sync, it shows right here that it's hitting at 5.2 within sync, pushes it up about another million. So it's about 6.2 with in sync. I use the doctor's home to hit at range. So I'm actually using the scope. That's where I'm doing it. And so you can tag the enemy, hit him at range, and then you'll also get the doctor's home 10% armor on kill without having to go get any trophies, right? You don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to get any med kits anymore. That just automatically applies. So you don't have to get out of cover for that to work anymore. So make sure you're running Demolitionist so you get access to the hand cannon. This is also going to unlock the artillery turret for you, and it's going to give you more explosive damage by 10%. So I know this golden Grupo looks rare, but it's sort of not. You'd be surprised by how many you get. If you're not running the ninja, you're going to run, I like skill damage and skill haste already on it, so you can change the core to whatever you need. And then the other one that's important is skill damage and status effects. If you're looking to be part of a strong, positive community, then I have you covered. Join Tux's Discord. We're not elitists, and we're so much more than just clans and raids. Tux's Discord continues to grow as the central hub for the player base that loves this game and wants to see it thrive. And if you love builds, this is the spot. Also, join Tux's Players Club to support the channel, the cause, while getting access to member perks and extra content like gaming music playlists. Click the join button below. Turning on aim assist helps you snipe with your sticky bomb. Try it by double tapping the skill button for quick release when scoped. Here's build number 2. It's actually a version that I've been running for many seasons, but every new season when they give us some new gear that allows me to upgrade this build, then I take advantage of that. I'm gonna start with the Memento because a lot goes into the Memento. So with this explosive build, or really any explosive build or skill build, the Memento is actually really valuable, and a lot of people overlook that because they think, oh, Memento's for like running and gunning. Exactly. That's exactly how we're running this build too. It's gonna blow your mind. No pun intended. Weapon damage, armor core, and the skill tier, right? And then I got skill haste there. So it's all about kill confirmed. Any build that can take advantage of the short-term buffs from the Memento is a rock star build, and that's what this build does. Let's talk long-term buffs first. So we can get 30% weapon damage, 3% armor regen, and 30% skill efficiency. So that's why we're running this really. It's that skill efficiency. It's a lot. So 30% skill efficiency includes skill damage, status effects, and 30% skill haste. All things that we are using on this build. All 3 things. Because we're running 6 skill tiers, every time we grab a fresh trophy, which we're going to be doing constantly, we're going to be stacking 30% skill efficiency, which is again, skill damage, skill haste, and duration, and status effect. 30, 60, 90, right? You get it? Okay, cool. And then we got the bonus armor, which is going to allow us to get out of cover so that we can grab those trophies in the first place. We got 2 blue cores, so that's 20% bonus armor on kill. And then we're running the mop, and the mop is going to get 10% armor on kill to us just by holding it. We don't even have to actually kill anybody with the mop, effectively putting us at 30% armor on kill. I'm running the doctor's home again so that I can nail people in the face at range with the sticky bomb by scoping in. This also gets us 10% armor on kill, and you don't have to fetch the trophy anymore, but just make sure you mark that target. Otherwise, we have max explosive damage on this build, so it's important that you run demolitionist. That's going to give you 10%. We're running one piece China light. That's giving us 15%. I got skill damage, status effects, and skill tier. I'm running one piece of Grupo. 2 pieces gives us explosive damage. I got skill tier, skill damage, status effects, and skill haste. And then here's my second Grupo with skill tier, skill damage, and status effects. And then I'm running one piece Brazos. I don't need the Picaro's holster because I really don't need extra weapon damage. So I got skill haste and skill tier, skill damage, status effects, and other skill tier. And then my second piece of Brazos to unlock that skill tier. So I got armor, skill damage, and double skill haste, and tag team is really important. So the last enemy you damage with this skill is marked, and then shooting them with your shotgun is going to consume that mark and shave your cooldowns. Tag team plus the memento allows you to remove a lot of skill haste on your build so that you can replace it with status effects. The explosive seeker mine, and that's because it's got a really big radius that the enemy has a hard time jumping out of. Tier 6, our cooldown's at 18.8, but it's going to be a lot faster. And then we're going to have tag team kicking in, which is basically going to give us unlimited skills. And then here's the sticky, and it's explosive sticky. Have this at 18.5 seconds. We're hitting at 4.877 before the trophies. Remember, we're gonna get 30% more skill damage with the trophies. So this build is probably gonna get hit harder than the Ninja Bike backpack one, but the playstyle is a little bit different. It should hit way harder with the short-term trophies, no doubt. So let's get into it. You can add another armor core by using your TDI pistol instead. You will lose damage to armor, which helps the bleed, but you can maintain the 10% armor on kill by running preservation. You do lose the in-sync talent this way, but you might not even notice thanks to those fresh trophies. Okay, this explosion build is a legendary and heroic build that is set up in a very different way, probably different than what you're accustomed to or what you've used before, or maybe even seen out there. Now, the original formula for this came from Gambit, who's in one of our Tux clans on Xbox. So this is originally his formula. I might have made 1 or 2 changes from it. His smart idea was really, when it comes to explosives, to really play into the bleed. And so that's what it's all about. And so it's one of the strongest strongest explosive builds out there. We have maximum explosive damage. We got maximum skill tiers. We got maximum skill damage on every piece. The difference is that it adds a lot of bleed and in multiplicative ticks. And by doing that, you use less ammo because you don't need to throw out an additional explosive on guys that are almost dead. They're gonna bleed out. What you're gonna end up doing is having the whole field ticking. They're gonna be double ticking. They're gonna be ticking from the bleed and ticking from the vial mask. Very, very strong. So it's a very particular formula. It's got all the best in slot pieces for an explosive build. So let's start with the Grupo. So you're gonna need 2 pieces of Grupo. This is what you want every piece to look like. So this is gonna give us that 15% explosive damage by having 2 pieces. And we got the skill tier, skill damage, and status effects. And then our second piece is the gloves, status effects, and skill damage, skill tier. And again, that's a 50% explosive damage. And then our backpack is China Light for the other 15% explosive damage. And then we got a skill tier, skill damage, status effects, skill haste mod, and then creeping death. That's right. So you can run tech support on your backpack and or combined arms to get more damage out of your turret, but you're not going to need it. Creeping death again is going to spread the bleed and thereby spread the vial mask. So it's more crowd control, more multiplicative stacking of damage on enemies that took splash damage or were even just nearby by 8 meters. Looking at the holster, I'm running a golden Golan, so that's got status effects, a skill tier, skill damage, and status effects. If you didn't have this, an easier piece to put here would be a Wyvern for 10% more skill damage, or even another China Light if you want skill haste, or Brazos if you want skill haste. But you don't really need weapon damage, so I wouldn't put a Picara's holster. Now the chest piece is the Sacrifice, so that's a Providence piece, and we're into this because of that perfect glass cannon. This will be a play from cover build, and it is suitable for legendary and heroic gameplay. Time and time proven. So the glass cannon explosive builds are not a new thing. So skill tier, status effects, skill damage, skill haste, and then perfect glass cannon, which is going to give us that 30% amp damage. We already have China Light being used on the backpack, and that's why we put the Sacrifice chest piece on, and that's why we have China Light on the backpack, so that we can run this chest piece. We want the perfect glass cannon for the ticks, the bleed, and the vial, and the explosion. So it's going to apply to all of those things. So we're getting triple effect out of this perfect glass cannon. So status effects, skill damage, skill haste, or anything close to this, okay? But try to make sure you got your 6 skill tiers. And then very important would be your vial mask, which has status effects, and then the talent of toxic delivery, which is going to add a debuff for 10 seconds when they get a status effect. So, and this is basically powered up through status effect attributes and explosive damage. So it's based off of your concussion grenades, 50% value. And as you'll see here in a second, that this is a maximum concussion grenade. That's as strong as that thing can get. See, 98 plus 118. Okay, 98 plus 118. So that's 218 on tick. That's huge. So we're running the mop because it's got damage to armor, and damage to armor boosts the damage to those bleeding ticks. And then we got armor on kill, so when they die, we get 10% armor on kill. We don't even have to shoot the gun to get that. And then in sync to make that hit even stronger. For the skills, I'm running the explosive secret mine because that applies bleed, and we want everything to be bleeding. Turret shows a base of 5.6, but remember in sync on top of that, and then it's gonna get amplified by 30%, so it's a lot stronger. Did you see this new talent? Support this video to help us get a message to the devs.
Follow me.